The 1968 United States quarter dollar history, context, and significance. The 1968 quarter dollar of the United States represents a fascinating intersection of economic necessity, technological adaptation, and cultural continuity. While at first glance it may appear to be just another coin in the long-running Washington Quarter series, its production marked a pivotal moment in American monetary history. To fully appreciate the significance of the 1968 quarter, it is essential to examine the broader historical background of U.S. coinage, the economic pressures of the 1960s, the transition from silver to clad coinage, and the design and production changes that defined this era. Origins of the Washington Quarter. The Washington Quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of the birth of George Washington, the first President of the United States. Designed by sculptor John Flanagan, the coin featured a left-facing portrait of Washington on the obverse and an eagle with outstretched wings on the reverse. Initially intended as a one-year commemorative issue, the coin proved so popular that it became a permanent denomination in U.S. currency. For decades, these quarters were struck in 90% silver and 10% copper, a composition that had been standard for U.S. coinage since the 19th century. This precious metal content gave the coins intrinsic value, making them both currency and a store of wealth. The economic crisis of silver in the 1960s. By the early 1960s, the United States faced a growing economic challenge, the rising price of silver. Industrial demand for silver increased dramatically, while the supply struggled to keep pace. As a result, the intrinsic value of silver coins began to approach, and in some cases exceed, their face value. This created a dangerous situation. Citizens and investors began hoarding coins, melting them down for their silver content, or removing them from circulation entirely. The U.S. government recognized that this trend could destabilize the nation's coinage system, leading to widespread shortages of small change. In response, Congress passed the Coinage Act of 1965, a landmark piece of legislation that fundamentally altered the composition of U.S. coins. Under this act, dimes and quarters would no longer contain silver. Half dollars would have reduced silver content, eventually eliminated entirely by 1971. New clad coins would be introduced, using layers of copper and nickel instead of precious metals. This transition marked the end of an era and the beginning of modern coinage in the United States. Introduction of clad coinage. The clad composition adopted for quarters consisted of a pure copper core sandwiched between two outer layers of copper-nickel alloy. This gave the coin a silvery appearance while eliminating the use of valuable silver. The new composition had several advantages. Cost efficiency. Copper and nickel were far less expensive than silver, reducing production costs. Durability. Clad coins were more resistant to wear and corrosion. Stability. Removing silver eliminated the incentive to hoard or melt coins. The first clad quarters were minted in 1965, but due to ongoing coin shortages, the U.S. Mint took additional steps to stabilize circulation. The 1968 quarter, a return to mint marks. One of the most notable features of the 1968 quarter is the reintroduction of mint marks. From 1965 to 1967, the United States Mint had removed mint marks from coins in an effort to discourage hoarding and speculation. Officials believed that collectors were pulling coins out of circulation based on their mint origin, exacerbating shortages. By 1968, the situation had improved sufficiently to restore mint marks. These small letters indicate where a coin was produced. D for Denver. S for San Francisco. Coins minted in Philadelphia continued to have no mint mark at that time. This change made the 1968 quarter particularly significant for collectors, as it marked the return of a traditional identifying feature. Design features of the 1968 quarter. The design of the 1968 quarter remained consistent with earlier Washington quarters, maintaining continuity despite the dramatic change in composition. Obverse, front. Portrait of George Washington facing left. The word liberty above. The motto, "In God We Trust," to the left. The year 1968 below. Reverse, back. A heraldic eagle with wings spread. Arrows in its talons, symbolizing strength and readiness. Olive branches beneath, representing peace. The inscriptions United States of America and $quarter. Despite the shift away from silver, the visual identity of the coin remained unchanged, preserving a sense of national continuity. Minting locations and production. In 1968, quarters were produced at two primary mint facilities. Denver Mint. D. San Francisco Mint. As. The San Francisco Mint also produced proof coins, special high-quality strikes intended for collectors. These proof coins featured a mirror-like finish and sharper details, distinguishing them from regular circulation coins. The Philadelphia Mint continued to produce coins without a mint mark, although its role in quarter production was reduced during this period. The Philadelphia Mint continued to produce coins without a mint mark, although its role in quarter production was reduced during this period. Proof coins and collector interests. The 1968 S proof quarter holds particular interest for collectors. Unlike earlier proof coins, which were often made of silver, these were struck in clad composition. This marked the beginning of a new era in proof coinage. Proof coins were not released into circulation, but sold directly to collectors in special sets. Their high-quality finish and limited production made them desirable collectibles. Collectors often evaluate these coins based on condition, strike quality, and any unique features such as errors or variations. Coin shortage and public response. The mid-1960s coin shortage had a profound impact on everyday life in the United States. Businesses struggled to make change. Vending machines malfunctioned due to inconsistent coin supply, and banks imposed limits on coin withdrawals. The introduction of clad coinage, including the 1968 quarter, helped alleviate these issues. As the public became more accustomed to the new coins, confidence in the currency system gradually returned. However, some skepticism persisted. Many people initially distrusted the new coins, perceiving them as less valuable due to the absence of silver. Over time, this perception faded as clad coins became the standard. Technological advancements in minting. The transition to clad coinage required significant technological innovation. The bonding of different metal layers had to be precise to ensure durability and consistency. The United States Mint developed new processes to manufacture these layered coins efficiently. These advancements not only supported the production of quarters, but also influenced the minting of other denominations. The success of clad coinage demonstrated the ability of modern technology to adapt to economic challenges, ensuring the continued functionality of the nation's currency. Cultural and historical significance. The 1968 quarter is more than just a piece of currency. It is a symbol of adaptation during a time of economic transition. It reflects how the United States responded to resource scarcity and changing market conditions. This coin also represents a broader shift in how people perceived money. The move away from precious metal content signaled a transition toward fiat currency, where value is based on government backing rather than intrinsic material worth. In this sense, the 1968 quarter is a milestone in the evolution of modern economic systems. Errors and varieties. Like many coins, the 1968 quarter can be found with various minting errors. These may include off-center strikes, double dies, clipped planchets, die cracks, Such errors are highly sought after by collectors and can significantly increase a coin's value. Additionally, variations in proof coins, such as cameo and deep cameo finishes, are of particular interest in numismatic circles. Value and collectability. In general, circulated 1968 quarters have modest value, typically close to their face value. However, uncirculated coins in pristine condition can command higher prices, especially those graded by professional services. Proof coins, particularly those with strong cameo contrast, are more valuable and desirable among collectors. Factors affecting value include condition, grade, mint mark, rarity, presence of errors or unique features, legacy of the 1968 quarter. The legacy of the 1968 quarter lies in its role as a transitional coin. It embodies the shift from traditional silver coinage to modern clad currency, a change that continues to define U.S. coins today. Subsequent developments, such as the introduction of commemorative quarters and state-themed designs, build upon the foundation established during this period. The Washington Quarter series itself has evolved over time, but the core design introduced in 1932 and continued in 1968 remains one of the most recognizable in American history. Conclusion. The 1968 United States quarter dollars stands as a testament to resilience and innovation in the face of economic challenges. While it may lack the intrinsic value of its silver predecessors, it carries immense historical significance. From the reintroduction of mint marks to the successful implementation of clad coinage, the 1968 quarter reflects a critical turning point in U.S. monetary policy. It highlights the adaptability of institutions like the United States Mint and underscores the importance of maintaining a stable and functional currency system. Today, the 1968 quarter remains an important piece for collectors and historians alike. It serves as a reminder that even small objects, like a single coin, can tell powerful stories about a nation's past, its challenges, and its capacity for change.